There you go. So this is what we're going to look into today. We're going to introduce the scheduling tool. We're going to look on how to create a recurring event, how to work with runs. I'm not sure. I think you said in one of our sessions that you're not going to work with runs. That's basically for dumb care calls, like 30 minutes call, 45 minutes calls. Is that something that you're not seeing you're going to use?
No.
No. Okay, so we'll put that on the rest for the moment. Then we're going to look on how to do a single swap multi-select permanent rostering, what it's on assigned hours and how we can work with that. The clock in status, the wall chart, it's a nice function over there. How to add, extend leave, then manage reports on leave, the status change, how we can work with that and how we can put a retention fee in place, how we can cancel events, how we can confirm timesheets, pins and permissions. Permissions, I think we know by now, pins is the pin that we have into the system. We'll discuss a bit about that. Location pin drop feature. And at the end, we're going to introduce the CareWorker app activation. I think the Care export log for all users, we still, you don't have CareWorkers clients at the moment, do you?
No, but I think that's pretty straightforward, right? That's just on the all care workers or all service user tab, and you export from there. Is that basically it?
No, this is how to import your current information. So if you would have had a different system, yeah, from OneTouch, you can export it quite easily, absolutely everything. But if you would have had this, what this is, if you would have had any CareWorkers clients into a previous system, we could have imported for you instead of manually added. I remember I think after the first session, I've sent you a static data example of what we can import. That's what that is about.
All right, so we probably have one package and a handful of staff, I think, that Scott and Rebecca want to put on the system.
Yep.
It's a big 8-to-1 package. I think they wanted to use OneTouch as a way to manage that from a rotoring point of view. So that might be a package of care that we'll look at importing.
If you want me to import something, or if you guys want to insert it manually to get more training out of that, however you want, just let me know.
I guess it's just because it's one package, it might be a good training exercise.
Yeah, my word, having the training exercise behind it. Okay. So we're going to take step by step on what I think you've put some service users you guys have done, then they're impending. Okay.
Done one, yeah.
Okay. You won't mind if I just bring it into active?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I just want to work with him on your system better than working anywhere else. Cool. So first of all, what we need to do to introduce the scheduling tool, see here when I click on service users, straight away I have a button over here that can take me to schedule immediately. Let's just make my mouse a bit bigger. Any favorite colors of the day?
Blue.
Blue it is. So I can go straight away to the client schedule from over here, or I can click on the client, and from the left-hand side, I can go to service user schedule from over here. On the schedule, first of all, what we can see, we have some color codes over here at the top. We have a search bar where we can move to another client if we want. We have service user information over here, who's the service user, and a bit of information about the address. And then we have tags over here. If we would have had any required tags, bonus tags, or not compatible tags, we would have seen them over here. Allocated weekly hours, we can see you put a 70 over here, and contracted hours, you put a 70. Monthly allocated hours, if we would have allocated any hours for the whole month, we would have been able to see them over here. Have a button to move to previous month, have a button to move again ahead. You'll have the days, the weeks of the year over here. And everything that is past, you will see it will be in this color. Today, it will always be in this yellow, like it's over here. Everything going forward is white, and you have the weekends grayed in here. Saturday, Sunday will be grey. When it's going to be a bank holiday, so if I move, see over here, this is bank holidays, it's going to be highlighted into the schedule as well. At the bottom, we have again option to move the month backwards and forwards. We have an option to send schedule as email, have the publish button. We have a tick box to send out update schedule to care workers. So instead of publishing the publish button, basically what it will do, it will make the visits available into the care worker app. So instead of publishing every time when you do a change, you can enable this, and that will by default then send everything to the care worker app. We have a clear on publish. So in the moment when we create something into the schedule, if we change our mind and we want to remove it, we have a clear on publish button as well over there that we can use. Now, to introduce how the scheduling can be created from the client perspective, it is important to mention at this point that we would not recommend creating schedules from the care worker's perspective. So go onto the care worker profile and on the care worker schedule and create schedules from over there. We recommend scheduling from the client's perspective. Okay. So if I come in here, it's a good training that if I click on yesterday, the system is going to ask for a PIN. Probably you guys, Tim, if you've worked with the system before, you know this is 7272. So to open an event that has happened into the past, that is the PIN, it's 7272. The reason behind it, if we don't want any accidental touches over there and people working with the system in the past without knowing. So that PIN is over there, 7272, for any things happening in the past. As well, what you can see over here is that every change of status will be highlighted into the system on the schedule over here, and it is, I can even hover the mouse and I can see who's done it, what change has been done, okay, and when. Now, if I click on the 6, this is my new service user event, and this is my page for scheduling. First of all, we have the time freeze option that we've enabled from location settings over there. Time freeze, remember, is if I don't want anyone to move my visit over there, and only the person who has the PIN to move that visit once I've ticked that time freeze in place. Next, we have the time. I can select the time from over here, and I can manually import it from the keyboard. So I can say this could be from 8 till 18, for example, or I can play with these buttons to input the time, depending how I would like it. If you want to input it from the keyboard, or if you want to play with this. Next, if a visit is going to be overnight, so it's going to go past 12 o'clock at night, then I need to take the overnight. I need to tell the system that, yeah, the visit is going to be probably from 8 o'clock at night all the way to 7 o'clock in the morning. So if it goes past 24 at night, so 12 o'clock at night, then I need to tell the system that visit is overnight. Leave it 8 to 12. We have the date selected. Well, I can see it over there, the date that I've clicked onto the schedule, and it's showing me that it is the 6th. Next, I can choose the job type. So what job type do I want to bring over here for this visit to be done on? You will by default see any job types that have been allocated to the client, have been linked to the client. You could have linked job types in the moment when you created the client, or you could have done that from the client's profile and just allocate the job types to the client. But you can link job types even in the moment when you're scheduling. So I can see from the drop down bar anything that has been linked, but I have this plus button over here. If I click on it, now the button has gone red. And if I look again, I can see all my job types now. Okay. Now I can choose a job type. And once I've chosen that job type, then the system is asking me, do you want to link it or not? If I say yes, next time when I come, I say yes. Okay, register children nurse. Next time when I'm going to come, and we're going to see that in a second, and I'm trying to create an event, that job type will already be over there. Next, I have tasks.
Is that a permissions setting though, Alan.
Yeah, it's based on permissions. If you don't have the permission to add job types, you won't see it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we want to be in a position where we can control whether someone's sneakily putting a nurse on for a carer shift without our knowledge.
Yeah.
Just
You'll always have
cost control.
You'll have that in visualization all the time. Next will be the tasks. So I can add the tasks over here, and I can put as many as I want, the tasks that you guys have created into company settings. If it's any task that I don't have over here, I can just come over there, I can put a comma, and I can type a test task over there. These tasks will be visible into the CareWorker app as a box with a tick. So it will be dressing, and then it will have a tick box right next to it into the CareWorker app. I have the flag option, so I can flag a visit as being very important or something like that. Again, the flags you can create in your company settings. We can make it as a single event or reoccurring event. We're just going to focus on single event over here. Then I'm going to have this option, add event finance, optional. Why is it optional? Because that will be visible only to the people that have finance access into the system. So if you have finance access into the system, if you want to put something for this event only, so this will overwrite anything that it is in the background. So whatever you put on the job type, or you put on the client, or you put on the CareWorker as payment, or travel rate, then this can be overridden from over here. That's
essentially the bonus incentives.
Something like that, yes. If you want as a one-off for a visit to give a CareWorker something extra, or it's something different from what is normally into the pay over there or into the billing, you can set the pay for the event from over here, and you can set the billing, and you can put a travel rate that you're paying. This will overwrite whatever it is on the background saved.
Okay.
Next will be the runs, and if we're not using the runs, I'm going to disable it, but basically from over here you can put every visit into a run, so I'm going to take that out so we don't have that in there in a second. Next will be the break. So if you know how many minutes the break is going to be, you can set the break from over here. By default it will come that is not paid, but you can put it as to be paid. And next down we have check CareWorker available. Once I click on check CareWorker available, the system is going to look if I have any care workers that are available, that have been made preferred. And if I have any preferred care workers that have been previously linked to this client, I can just allocate them. I have a button to check travel times. So if I would have hit and I would have had any care workers over here, the system would have shown me straight away how many miles and how long will it take to that care worker to get to that client over there. Okay. Next, I have a button that says assign later. And next to the assign later, we have a minus and a plus button over here. Now, if imagine this visit would have been a double up call, instead of creating 2 visits, then to allocate it to 2 care workers, you can create 2, 3, 4, 5 requirements, 8, 10, as many as you need over there. So instead of creating it multiple times, I can create it as a one-off. I have a button, a search button where I can search for any care workers that I have into the company. And then I have available care workers. I can look for anyone who is available over here as a care worker. I can look not only in one area, I can look in every area. I have some information about the start, finish of the event. I can do it via the search bar, or I can just look in every area, and then I can see what care worker they would have been displayed all here. Now we're going to go into my demo in a second, and we're going to see it a bit better over there. Once I'm happy with what I've created over here, I've set assign later. So what I'm doing, I'm just creating the necessity. I'm creating the visit, but I'm not assigning it at this moment in time. I'm going to say save, and that's it. Now I've created 2 visits over there. They are showing that they're not assigned. So they're showing in this purple. They're showing me the time. They're showing me that there is a double up because they have the same timing over there. It's showing me the job type that I've put it on, and is giving me the information that there's no carer inserted over there. If I hover the mouse over there, See, it's giving me even more information about that visit. No care worker entered. What's the phone number? Obviously, if it's no care worker, no phone number. What is the job type that I put? Next is what are the tasks over there. When it was created, what's the duration? Who created it? When is the first event? Day's event, once off, and any notes. It is showing me over here that is a once off. See this red thing over here, and I have it over there, single event. We're going to see how we can create 3 events. We can create once off single events, reoccurring, and ongoing events. Okay, so we're going to see how each one of them will look over there. Going to move to my my demo environment because I have a bit more data over there, and it will look a bit clearer for you guys on what we can do over there and how we can do it. Okay. There we go. Let's go to Alan. Let's just delete everything that's in the future. So we don't have any confusion. Okay. Back over there. So we've created a single event. Now we're going to create the reoccurring event. So again, I click on today. I open the scheduler. I can leave it as it is over there. I have the job types over there. As I said, if I click on the plus, I can bring another job type. There we go. I've linked another job type so we can see next time when we look over there that I have 3. I can bring tasks in there. I can say it's single, and now what we're going to click is on reoccurring event. When I click on reoccurring, see that some new options will appear over here. I can repeat each week, or I can choose every 2 weeks. I can create a pattern of a schedule that can repeat every 2 weeks, every week, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. I can choose on what days I want this to happen, or I can say on all days, and he's going to populate every day automatically. He's asking me now if the client receives a service on a bank holiday. By default, it will be yes, but you can put it to no, and in that case, he won't create an event on a bank holiday, okay? And the next one that I have over here, it's end date option. So if I click here, he's going to give me the opportunity to put an end date for the schedule. And I can say that I want it to be up until the end of the month, 30th of November. So I've put 30th of November over there. Again, I have the finance, I have the run, I have the break option. Let's insert the break so you guys can see how that looks as well. And I can put a break of 30 minutes in there. I can check the preferred care worker available now. As I was saying, he's going to show you the care worker available. He's showing you if anyone is in conflict. And then I said via the search bar, I can search for other care workers and I can bring them in. So I can say I would like to bring Alan Test. There you go. I've added him. He's not in conflict. I can look on available carers, and he's going to look for the available care workers in the area where the client is. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I cannot select other areas and look at other areas. So maybe I want to bring Kelly as well. So I can say add to the preferred. So there you go. I have Kelly as well over there. As I said, I can click on check travel times and see there now the car has appeared and is showing me for every day when I'm doing this, what is the time. Again, over here for every day, he's showing me the time that it will take over there to get to that visit. Again, I have the option to assign later, which we're going to do again. We're going to say assign later. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to hit save. Now what I've done, I've created a reoccurring event. You see how it is in yellow? Then is when the publish sign comes in function. I click publish. And now when someone will be allocated to it, it will be available over there. See the sign from the beginning over here? If I hover the mouse on that, it says reoccurring event. That means that all these events are linked. And if I click on it, he's going to highlight them all to me. And it's showing me that they are all linked, all these events. The other extra signed icon that I can see over there is the break. That little mug over there, that is how the red mug is showing me that is the break over there. And that's what the system is showing me, that I have a break. And we said that we created a reoccurring event, and always the reoccurring event, it will have an end date. We've done, first of all, a single event in your system. This is how it looked as a single. And now what we've done is that we've done a reoccurring event in here. The single is a one-off, the reoccurring has an end date. Next one that we're going to create is the ongoing event. The ongoing does not have an end date. So if I click again over here, I'm going to put the times from 2 p.m. all the way till 20. Give me an example of how you will schedule, Tim.
10 till 8, 10 o'clock at night till 8 in the morning. It's a 10-hour shift, 7 days a week.
22 up until 10 in the morning. Overnight, 8 in the morning. 08 in the morning. There you go. So I've done 10 at night until 8 o'clock in the morning. See over there that I have 3 job types now. The one that I've just added a bit earlier, it's over there, is linked. And I can add tasks over there. Now we're going to say reoccurring all days. The difference is that I'm not putting an end date into there. I can put my break. Will it be a break into this shift over here?
No.
No break. So we don't put a break in there. Check preferred care worker available. Again, I can assign it to a care worker from the moment when I'm doing it over here. It's absolutely no problem. But normally we say create the necessity, then do the assignment. And I'll show you how you can do the assignment in a second in multiple ways. When you're looking at the care workers, you see over here is showing me that there's no visits in the last 90 days. It's showing me the availability of the care worker next. It's showing me the hours. See on that line, it's putting 49.30, 16.50, giving me the name of the care worker, giving me the phone number, giving me the position, and giving me the tags next that care worker has. I can select the care worker from over here and then just say save if that is what I want. Normally we say just assign later and then save. And there you go. Now what I've done, I've created an ongoing event. That means that it doesn't have an end date. Normally the ongoing events for us will go until 2030, something like that. There you go. If I want to publish it, that's published. The new icon that you can now see over there is the bed. The bed just says that visit is overnight. So it just jumps into your eyes that event will be overnight. So it's after 12 o'clock at night. So we put an icon over there. So we display that. Again, as we said, it's an ongoing event. This is a reoccurring. This is an ongoing. If I click on that, he's showing me everything that is linked with that event. All the visits that are linked with that one.
Could you show us an example of where the tags for the carers that you're scheduling need to marry up to that of the client?
We'll get to that. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay. I'll show you that. Now what we've done, we've created a single, ongoing, reoccurring event. 3 types of events. Now that we've done that, I'm going to show you how it works on a single swap. So how can I do a single swap? Let's put a single event over here so I can have a single visit. There you go. Now I have a single visit. By having a single visit, the way that we would recommend scheduling a single event is clicking on that visit. I can edit the single event, or I can swap the care worker. So I can say edit single event. I can edit a time. I can edit the job type. Obviously, I will only be able to see what is linked over there. I can edit tasks. I can edit the run. I can edit even the break period, that event finance, and then I can put a care worker over there. And I can say, yeah, Alan Test will have it, and then I save. And that's it. Now I've done an allocation. I've allocated a care worker over there. That is a single allocation. The other option that we have is to do a multi-select allocation. How the multi-select will function is in this way. You can't see me now, but I've pressed Control on my keyboard. So on my keyboard now, I keep Control pressed. And with my left click on the mouse, I start clicking. See over there, and now I've clicked on the left click and it's highlighted. 1, 2, 3. So I've highlighted 3 days over there. So I've highlighted Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That is what we call multi-select. Now what I can do, I'm still keeping Control on my keyboard, it's still pressed. I right click on the mouse. Once I've right clicked on the mouse, I have some options over here. I can change the job type. I can change time. And that means that I can change the start time. The duration will still be the same, but I can change the start time. I can change multi-time. That means that I'm changing the duration now. The multi-time, it allows me to change the duration, and I can do it as a once-off for the visits that I've highlighted. I can do a permanent change, or I can change up until. I can change days selected, and that is where we normally recommend do the allocation. And in here, why we recommend doing this is because the system will safeguard only the days that you're trying. See over here, he's not allowing me to change to any other days, but he will safeguard the days that I've selected. And I can just go and allocate for those days going forward a care worker. And I can say, yeah, put Alan, and then I save. And on those visits, every week going forward on those days, I have Alan. I can publish it, and there you go.
When you publish, now, does the carer get notified that they've got an updated schedule or anything like that?
No, they will just see it. They will see it into the app, the schedule.
Okay.
Without the publishing, they won't be able to see it. Now, these visits have now been linked, all of them together. And if I press now on our reoccurring button, I can see that they are linked. The other visits, now they have their own link. There you go. And now those are the other ones that are linked. Again, I'm going to keep Control on my keyboard, and I'm going to left click. I'm just trying to work on a Saturday and on a Sunday. And then I'm going to right click. I have the same option over here, change day selected, and maybe I want to insert another care worker for Saturday and Sunday. So every Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to have allocation here, 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 and on this day, because in here I don't have a visit anymore. So I'm going to say that I'm going to put Kelly over there, and I'm going to save. So now Kelly test has been allocated over there. There we go. Again, I keep Control on my keyboard, left click, left click, left click, left click, right click. The other options that I would have had over here was to, sorry, something didn't work. It didn't kept my thingy. So again, keep Control, left click, right click. The other option that I have over here would have been to assign a run and update. So the runs that we're not going to work with, and update the task. Any future task, I could have been able to update them as well. Now, that is allocating via the multiple select. So I can choose a day. I can say every Wednesday Alan is going to work, then every Thursday another care worker is going to work. So you can work with it like this, or I can do a permanent allocation of a visit. So on the one that you we've created over here with by 22 till 8, if I click on it, I know this is an ongoing event by looking at this mark over here. And if I click on it, you see that they are linked, all of them. So on the ongoing event, I can just click on the ongoing event, and I can in here delete as a single, delete future, delete entire day. So I have some options to delete. The delete options, again, will be behind permissions. So if you won't have option to delete schedule, you won't see them over there. I have the option to edit the single event. So just the day, I can edit it and I can make this changes. I can copy the reoccurring event. So I can make a copy of the whole all sequential events over there. I can edit future events. By editing the future events, this is what I would go and allocate a full care worker over there. He is showing me that he's working on every day, but I could come and change the hour, change the job type, change tasks, change the repeat over there pattern. But the idea over here would be that you can come and you can say, yeah, Alan is going to do this, and then I'm going to save. And that is what we call a permanent rostering. So that's the permanent allocation of a staff member. I can then publish it. And that's it. That is the staff that's been permanently allocated. If as of next month from the 2nd, I want to allocate someone else, I can click on there. I can say again, edit feature events. I can look at my care workers. I can say, well, maybe I now want to bring someone else. Jerry Test to preferred. There you go. Then going forward, I want to put Jerry Test, and that's it. Now the schedule's been changed as of the 2nd. I do have some other options to swap care worker. So I can say swap care, and I can say as a single event, I can swap the entire day, or I can swap all the events up until. So I can say up until 31st of December. So all events until 31st of December, put Kelly now. Okay, and I can confirm it. And there you go, that's what I've changed. And after that, Jerry goes on. Is there a question there? Go on, Priya.
Yep, Alan, just wanted to ask, so when I've done rotoring in the past on OneTouch, I've always done it day by day, and created a recurrent shift pattern. Yep. Because if I've selected, even if it is 7 days a week or 5 days a week, and I've grouped them together, I found that I haven't been able to ungroup them when it comes to certain staff only being able to work certain days. So if I followed the way that you're showing, and I created a set pattern over 7 days, say the 10 to 8 pattern, and then I left click on the ones I wanted, right click, and then I could add the staff in for those particular days.
Yep.
That's a quicker way to do it.
You can work with it with however you're considering.
Yeah.
What I'm showing you over here is the way to not get him out of the sequence that you're having over there.
Yeah.
In the moment when I'm going to see over here that they are highlighted, all of them, but in the moment when I'm going to just do a single allocation at any point over here, that visit will be taken out. So if I'm going to change only something on this day, I'm changing to 2005. This is now going to be untaken from the sequence and is going to be a single as a once off. And every other event will still be linked, but this one is not linked anymore to them. So any modification that you do again to this ones will not be taken into the consideration to this one. That's the whole idea over there to what I'm showing you, to not lose the connection into there, the link over there.
Yeah. And the only time it actually does change is when say you've got your sequence pattern to occur weekly, but then you input a staff member for every 2 weeks. It then removes the shift, and then you have to re-add the shift as every other week. That's just what I found.
I'm not sure I'm following what you're trying to tell me over there.
So say we've created the roster for 7 days a week, but I've got a staff member that can then only work every other week. So we've created them and added them on through the selection process as every other week. The shift actually disappears on the roster. because it wouldn't recalculate that there isn't another person every 2 weeks. I've just found that.
It shouldn't. If you can duplicate that and show me, then that shouldn't happen. If you're doing the allocation from the care worker's perspective, that might happen. That's why we're saying don't do the allocation from the care worker's perspective, but it shouldn't delete anything in the moment when you're allocating. Nothing should be removed from the schedule. But if you find that, please send me some screenshots and a video with that, because that should not happen at any point. If you create something for when you're doing an allocation for a schedule to disappear, that shouldn't happen.
Okay, hopefully it won't happen. It has happened in the past. I was setting up a quite a large package of care, but I had people that would only work every other week or every 3 weeks, and it would actually go on and delete the recurrent shifts down at the bottom. And you wouldn't realize that because you think you've done the allocation for every other week and you're going to go on to the following week and add on whoever else is then available, but actually down the line the shifts have been deleted.
Yeah, again, if you can after
again,
this
hopefully it doesn't miss, but I'll try.
After the session, go and play with the system, and if you find that, just send it to me.
Okay, so then if that happens, it's an error.
Yes, it shouldn't delete anything. From what you're explaining it to me, you shouldn't remove absolutely anything. Only if you are removing the synchronization over there, but even then they should become single events and they shouldn't be removed from the system.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And that is our permanent allocation, what we've seen over there. Other things that we can do over here. I can take a visit from today and I can move it to tomorrow with drag and drop. Simple as that. And when I drag it, the system is asking me, do you want to move this as a one-off, move the entire day, copy single, copy entire day. So I either move it or I either copy it, depending on how I want. I wanted to move it as a single, one save, and that's it. Now from over here has been put over there. Sometimes situation like this might happen when you need it to do that, but and the system will let you do that if you want to. Haven't seen it used a lot of times, but it is something that the system has. This drag and drop, even on the client schedule, you have the possibility to do that.
I guess that could be used on ours if we're not banking of hours, but we're still using them within the same week. If a staff is unavailable on a different day.
Yeah. A new addition to the system, again, if I click on a visit, I have this button over here where I can add event notes. So I can say this visit is long, I don't know. I can save the note, and there you go, the note, it is over there. My colleagues can say all okay on the visit. These are notes for admins to see. It will not be visible to care workers. These are only for admins. Now, once I've added those notes over there, I've refreshed the page now. See over there, a new icon has appeared over there. And if I hover the mouse right down at the bottom, you guys are going to see event notes. And those are my notes that I've done all okay on the visit. This visit is long, so they will show over there. If someone goes at any point back in there and wants to look at them, they will be over there as well. They will work on not assigned visits as well. You can put them or on assigned visits, depending on where you want to add them. Okay. Do we have any questions about what we've done so far? Introduced, create reoccurring, one-off, single, multi-select, permanent rostering?
No.
I think this is probably one of the stronger areas we'll be at because of the way we used the system before.
Okay. Good job. Okay, so moving on from this part, we're going to look at the unassigned hours. If I click on the dashboard, and I'll come back into my main dashboard. In here, we have shift with no assigned care worker. Basically what the system does, we created those patterns of work over there, but we haven't allocated anyone to them. So the system then will show you, will highlight to you, if it's someone for something for yesterday or something for today, he will highlight it even in red to tell you, you have this visits on the schedule, but you haven't allocated anyone to them. Straight away from over here, you will have an option to go to the schedule and see what is actually happening over there. And you have the option to see if they are also into a run in there, and it's showing you the run as well over there, showing you if an SMS has been sent or any hours have been requested for these visits to be done as well. The SMS is the Instacare, if any SMS would have been sent over there, and any hours requested. The nice thing that we can do from over here is that I can click on view full list, and from over here I can run a report. I can select what period I want to do this, and I can search. And now he's giving me a report for anything that I had yesterday, anything that I have today. You see they are highlighted in orange, and anything that I have tomorrow as well. Again, still highlighted in orange. It's showing me whatever visits are once off, whatever of them are reoccurring events. If I click on the date, I can even filter them over there. And then when it comes after the day after tomorrow, they will be brought back into the normal color, black.
That's a brilliant way to see whether rotas haven't been rolled forward, Priya, if we're looking at a 12-week period, because you'll be able to immediately identify there's multiple shifts with one client, their rota is not clearly done. Yeah, so that'll be quite a key function.
Yeah, it is a very, very good. A lot of companies are using this function to see what is it actually that is happening with their schedules. What is it that they have in the past. Another thing that I will, it is a very good point of seeing what's happening, is this reoccurring versus one-off schedule report. So I can click here. I normally say look at least 2 months ahead to people, and I can say, yeah, look up until the 30th of December, and then I search. And now the system is going to look at every visit that I have booked into the system, what's been assigned and what's not been assigned over there. So I have reoccurring unassigned 180, but I have total calls per week 467. This is reoccurring, this is once off events that have not been assigned, and it's showing you per work group over there. And you can see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 over there. Shouldn't be too much of a difference over there between them. But the basic thing that you can see is where is it that I'm actually having problems, and I can see, well, in best demo, this is the group, and I have in work group 2 where I have problems again with what's happening over there. And then one by one, you can see where is actually the problem in there. You can run even if you want to have a look over there. Normally what I will say is you can take a percentage. So I can look and I can see that I have 467 visits normally on a weekly basis. If I divide that to the reoccurring unassigned and reoccurring events assigned, I have 180 go, and that multiplied by 100. Yeah, and it will give me the percentage. It's around 40% that I have unassigned visits from the total of visits that I should have assigned in there. So it just gives you an idea of what's happening over there.
So sorry, Alan, if you could just go back there.
Yep.
That's quite a very handy report.
Yep.
For us, the reoccurring unassigned and the one-off unassigned, would we, to identify how many unassigned shifts we have, would we add those two numbers together?
Yes. Yeah. How many unassigned visits, you will add those two together. 182 plus 36, that's what you have over there, how many you have unassigned from this total 469.
That's how you got your 40%, yeah?
Yeah. So if you put those together and then you look how many you have for the full week, then you get to that. That's how I got to that 40% over there.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
No worries. Coming back to
sorry, Alan. The only way that will be accurate, Tim, is if we're rolling out rotas indefinitely, and we're scheduling people again indefinitely, it won't show up as deficits. It will show up only when we remove them. Say if they're on annual leave or off sick or something, that's when the shifts will show up as single shifts unfilled. Because we're going to be working on a 12-week rolling rota. So either we use the middle way that Alan showed, which was the recurrent events, and put an end date of 3 months so we can keep track on it, or we do the ongoing event, but we won't get full visibility.
We won't recommend you doing schedules with an end date, because in that case you could get into the danger of not having a schedule for a client that should receive a visit. Obviously, the main dashboard will show you any expiring schedules. So any expiring schedule in the 30 days. So that means that I have a schedule. I can look over here and I can run a report. That means that I have a schedule that will finish into the next 30 days. But it's how you guys want to do it over there.
Yeah.
The safest option will be for us to have a ongoing skeleton rota, so it's always spitting out unassigned shifts at us, whereas if it ends, the system's not going to tell us.
No, it won't tell you. No,
it's just going to end, and we're going to assume actually the
rota's assume that the care is
in place and the rota's covered, because there's no data telling us otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it won't be fully accurate. It will only show up if staff have been removed for a reason, if they haven't confirmed their rotas to us.
Yeah, it's more being able to quickly identify which rotas are not done, where our biggest problems are, which packages.
Yeah, our deficits will show up. If they haven't, if people haven't been scheduled, they will show up those shifts on a regular basis.
And those one-offs will be people that are on annual leave on that day or that sort of thing. But again, it's still a deficit that we need to fill. And then as we grow and we branch out into areas, the areas will then populate with the packages, and we'll be able to see which areas are doing well and which areas are not doing well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I'll carry on now. So the other functionality that we have into the unassigned hours, coming back into the unassigned hours report, as I said, from in here, you can see every visit that doesn't have a care worker into it, and you can run it for a period of time. We have a color coding over here that's telling you that there's 52 events between tomorrow and before. There's 15 into the next 7 days, 7 to 14, 0, and then I have over 14 days, nothing over there again. I have some options to look by area over here. I can say I want to search by area. I can look into column visibility, work group, branch, client, address, event type. So I can bring it, and in here is going to show you the event type. Again, I can filter and I can see every reoccurring event, every single event as well. And the system is going to show me all that. See now everything that it is reoccurring, it shows over here. Everything that it's one-off is showing over here single, and it's showing me the icon over there. It's quite good when you're trying to do your scheduling and to identify what kind of events you have and how you can work with them. As I said over here in the options channel, we can see go straight away to the schedule and fix the problem. Then I have an option to mark the event as cancelled. I can put a cancel and I can put a comment in there. And I have an option to run an availability report. So the blue icon over there is giving me the option to run an availability report. It's going to give me some information about date, start, finish, and then I can search. System is going to look through all your care workers then, and he's going to tell you who is available. I have Tim Test over here. Tim Test shows available, and I can just go now back and say, yeah, I would like to allocate Tim Test to that visit. So he is giving you even that knowledge from over there. Can go back. If the event is still due to happen. So if it's not due to happen, you won't see this icon. But if it's still due to happen, the system is going to give you the opportunity of this icon that we're going to see quite a lot into the system, and that is to swap care worker. So it gives you the opportunity straight away from over here to allocate a care worker. So I can see my preferred care workers, I can see the start time, and I can manage that. I can change it, or I can look in advanced options over here, and I can search for another care worker, maybe test blue, add it over there to the preferred, and I can then allocate the care worker straight away from over here. Or I can look on show all available care worker. I can say, yeah, confirm. There you go. All three that I've added there in conflict over there. Let's bring a bit more. I don't have anyone available to do that visit. There you go. I brought Alan, and Alan is not in conflict. I can just check Alan. I can confirm, and now I've allocated that visit. That is a one-off firefighting that you can do from over here. If you would like, the system will give you that opportunity as well. You can see tags of care workers over here. Again, you can filter by every column, and you can see like that as well. You can see what visits are overnight. You can see any runs. If you put people in runs, obviously you will be able to see any flags as well over here, if any visit has a flag. To move on, the next function that we have very useful into the system will be the clock-in status. Probably something again that you guys will be familiar with. The clock-in status, some companies will call the Bible. We're on the main dashboard. If we scroll down, we have view clock-in status. If we click on that, we get Alan, to this page.
Sorry, Alan, just one question. If a staff member with allocation in regards of the conflict coming up, will they show up as a conflict if they've worked during the day and we're about to add them on for a night shift on the same day?
No. If they are available during those hours, they won't show in conflict now.
Okay. So it will be a manual check on their rota.
If you're not allowed to assign someone that's worked during the day at night, yeah, you can run a report on that.
All right, thank you.
On the clock-in report, once we click on the clock-in report, we will get to this page where I can first of all change the date, but he will come on the date when you are. You can move a previous day and move forward the date. You can select runs as well if you would have had the visits in runs, and then you can do a search. Basically in here, it will show you what's happening with the visits during the day. You will see that we have different color coding over here. And I'm just going to use the app to go and put a visit into live so we can see how that looks like. Not now. Let's just clock in into a visit. I am clocked in into a visit. Oh, it's late for clock out now, that one. Let's just book another visit on Kelly over there. There we go. We've allocated a care worker. And now via the app, we'll have Kelly clocking in into that visit. Let's just clock out of this one so we can see the completed one. And then clock in into this one. Okay. So back in our system now, when we look over here, I'm just going to refresh the page. So I can see the color coding, what I was trying to say over there. So first of all, we have completed visits. Second, we have live visits. We have visits, upcoming visits with -5 minutes, upcoming visits in due to start into +5 minutes, late visits, future visits, missed visits, or late for clock out. We can come in, we can filter each one of them. So I can click on my completed, and he's going to show me all my completed visits. I can look on my live visits, so I can click on the blue option, and I can see my live visits. And from over here, I can see when the care worker was due in, when was he due out, when did he actually clocked in. What's the client name, what's the area, any tags that I have over there, the job type. I can see the status, and I have some options. I can clock the care worker out manually, and I can put an admin comment as well from over here. If they would have been put into a run, I would have seen the run over here. The late ones is showing me that the care worker should have clocked in by 10 o'clock. As they haven't clocked in by 10 o'clock, that means that the visits have been automatically put into late status. From over here, I have the option to change the care worker, cancel the visit, manually clock them in, or add an admin comment to either the client or the care worker. I can see any future visits. And again, I have those options over there. And I can see some missed calls. How do they become missed? This blue over here was due to clock in at 7 o'clock to Vladimir, who's the client, into this visit. If it went 7:01 and he hadn't clocked in, the visit would have been put into late. Now, in the moment when it went to the clock 14:01, the visit would then put to missed. Okay, so now the system is highlighting to you that that visit is now missed. You will see that he will show you even the ones that you don't assigned. So even the ones that you have unassigned, the system will show them to you on a daily basis. The last option over here, we have late for clock out. So we look at the visit over here, due out 17:05. In the moment when it will be in there, we have a buffer of 5 minutes. So in the moment when it will be 17:20, if the care worker hasn't clocked out, the visit will go over here and it will highlight over here that the care worker is late for the clock out. This is for the lone care worker protection. So you might have care workers that you need to make sure that they've came out from different visits. So we've inputted that as a new function over there as well, to make sure that the care workers are clocked out, have clocked out from visits, and they are safe as they should be. What I said some companies will say this is the Bible. What we've seen is that some companies will have this on a big TV in their offices, and they will look at it daily just to see what's happening. What visits are live, how the care workers are clocking in, clocking out, when they are doing it, if any visits are going to late or going to missed, so they can monitor that and make sure that the visits are done as they should be. You can bring via Google, you can bring an add-on over here, and you can put it to refresh every minute, every 30 seconds, every 15 seconds on whatever pattern you want, and then you will have the live information in real time on what's happening into your company over there. Any questions about the clock-in status?
No.
No.
Could we
Yep.
Is there any way that we could send a message from the system to the staff if they're logging in late, like a direct message, or would we have to do that again?
The messaging system. So the messaging system. Yeah, okay. You can use the messaging system from over here, and you can send a message via the messaging system. You can choose to who you want to send it, and you can send a message.
Perfect, thank you.
From over there. Or you can use the notice board. Don't forget about the notice board. So you can use the notice board. You can create the by default, you're not clocking in, clocking out notice. And then let's say this is the one, you can get your contacts. You can either send it individually or you can send it to multiple staff members, the notice. Okay, so going next will be the wall chart. Again, I'm sure this is a function that you guys would have seen previously, the wall chart. Again, we're on the main dashboard. if I scroll down, I have view wall chart. Right next to what I had view clock-in status. On the left-hand side, I have view wall chart. I can click on the wall chart, and this is the view that I'm going to see over there. At the top over there, I have different color coding because we can see every visit over here is highlighted with a different color over there. So at the top, everything that I have in color codes, it explains to me over there, what is it that, why is this visit in red? Why is this one in this purple over here? Because it's not assigned. The red one is late for clocking in. In here, I have also some functions where I can filter. I can say that I want to see any 30, 45, 5 minutes. I can see the events small, large, or normal. I can select what area I want to look, and I can hide times as well from the visits from over there. I can look at a certain date if I want, or I can use the search option over here to search tag, care worker, or client. I can see the date that I am. I have a bar over here, the red one, that is showing me what time is at the moment and where I'm at the moment. If I hover the arrow mouse, see he goes into that way automatically and is showing me what is happening. Nice thing with the wall chart is that I can see also the availability of staff members and what I've put on them over there. On the left hand side, I'm going to have the care workers' names in here. I have a button to hide unscheduled. So if I have any, so like test testing 12, they don't have any schedule. If I click on this hide unscheduled, then they're not visible anymore. I can see only the persons, the care workers that have something scheduled on them. If I click show all, then they will appear back over there. And I have the option to do a week view that we're going to see into a moment. Now, the wall chart is where you can see the events in a certain way and where you can firefight as well. So if, for example, I have this visit that is not assigned over here, that if I hover the mouse over there, you see it's Diana Test Care Basic. Diana Test is the name of the client, and Care Basic over there is the name of the job type. So what I can do, I can just take the visit from over here and put it on a care worker straight away. And I can say, okay, and that's it. I've allocated that visit. Second thing that I can do from over here, I can take a visit from a care worker and put it to another care worker, or just put it to another hour. The system will always give me a pop-up notification. In this case, it's showing me also the travel and the hour that I'm changing over there. I can extend the visit. Instead of being 30 minutes, I can make it to be over here. Again, I have the pop-up notification, and there you go. I've made it now longer, and I can make the time an hour if that is what I want. We wouldn't recommend using this as your scheduling tool, the wall chart, but we say that it is a function that you could firefight with it. You can come and you can easily make any changes instead of going into each client's schedule. You would have seen into the location access setup that you have some functions now over there, some things that you can change over there. You can prevent this for people to do. If you don't want people to be able to do this, you can enforce that for this not to be available anymore, depending on how you want to work with it. You can even click on the visits. You can delete them. You can edit them from over here, and you can use the Instacare function as well, depending on how you consider that you want to work with. See over here, we have a visit, the one that we just clocked into, and it is showing me that it's clocked in. So it's showing me that visit over here. As I said, I can use and I can view it by week. I can click on the week view now. And there you go. He's showing me again the care worker's name and is showing me day by day. I can see any holidays, any visits. It is a bit busy now, but you can see day by day on what's happening with every care worker and what every care worker has on him day by day what visits will that care worker have on him. Again, from over here, you still have the opportunity. I can drag and drop a visit, the unassigned one, and put it over there and assign it with Tess Mumby care worker. That's it. I've assigned it. I can take a visit from over here and put it over there. Again, take another visit from over there, put it over there. So I can still do changes even on this screen over here. The next thing that I can do with the wall chart, I can view the wall chart from the client perspective. So on the right-hand side over here, I have client wall chart. I can click on that. And now I will have on the left-hand side, I have all my clients. And from the perspective of clients, I can see what schedule they have today. Difference being in here, I cannot drag and drop. Can't do that. I have again over here the color coding. I have the option to look by area. I have the option to look at a certain date if I want. The search options. I can do the week view and I can see for the week what every client, what visits they have with what care worker as well. But again, I won't be able to change anything. I can't move anything from over here. This is just the visualization tool.
I think this could be good if there's specific areas that we're working on where staff work across different packages to coordinate their shifts.
Yeah, it gives you a good opportunity to see what is it that I have allocated, assigned also. So mark this, he's assigned, I have care worker here, but I don't have any care workers over here to those visits. So it is a good opportunity, but a good visualization as well in what you have over there. Any questions about the wall chart?
No, thank you.
Cool. Adding leave, extending leave, managing and reporting on leave. We're going to focus a little bit on that now. So as we know, care workers can add leave via the mobile app. So if we enable this function into the mobile app, care workers will come into their mobile app. They have holiday request. They come on holiday request. They say, yeah, I would like some annual leave on the 1st of December. They put a comment. Can I have some AL? And they submit the request. Obviously, they will have a history over here in the app with what they've been approved, what is pending. Back into your system, you will see that request coming in, and you will have a notification over here of, there you go, holiday request. Click on it, and I can decide I want to deny it or I want to approve it, depending how I want to do it. If I want to approve, I'm going to see some information about their holiday, what they've taken so far, what's been approved, what's remaining, what's accrual, all that. I can decide if it's paid or not paid, depending on how I want over here. If I say I'm going to pay it.
Is this something we need to set up in the system? Holiday calculations and all of that stuff, holiday setup?
Yep. That needs to be set up. You don't need to do a lot of setup over there. The setup, it's already in there. If you want to insert different parameters, yeah, by all means, you can do that. And I'll guide you through that in the finance training, and I can guide you through a little bit too today as well.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I don't know, Priya knows, but I don't know how the holiday calculations work and what figures we need to put in the system. Maybe that's a payroll finance question.
Yeah, well, as you're going to have your care worker starting as new, it's a good opportunity because the system will start from scratch. Normally what the system looks is when there is information over there, he will look at the last 52 working weeks and he will calculate their average working hours and their average payment. With not having that data into the system, now they will look on what the care worker currently has over there. So in the moment when they're going to request some holiday, the system will look on what is it they've worked so far, what is their average working so far, what is their average payment that they have received so far, and he will decide what it's their payment for what they're inquiring. You can have on your leave paid on daily days, or you can have it on hours, depending on how you guys are doing. Probably payroll will know more about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I can select over here if I'm paying it or if I'm not paying it. If I say paid, then I can check the events affected, and I can check what the care worker has over there, any visits booked. If it would have been any visits booked, I can the system would have shown me that he is unallocating those visits, and when I'm happy, I can confirm the holiday, and now it's been authorized. The care worker will then have a notification into the app, new request actioned. So they will see it straight at above. If we click on it, it will show the, yeah, that is the request. One request has been actioned since you last viewed this. And that's the request. The annual leave was approved over there. That is putting it from the care worker's perspective from the mobile app, or you guys can insert it manually into the system. So the care worker
then automatically marked as unavailable to work for that day?
Depending on what you want. Remember, into the location access setup, you had some things over there that you can put holiday, or you can put holiday N visits. If we've marked over there, if my memory serves, you said no, we won't have holiday N visits at the same type. That means that, yeah, they will be marked as unavailable of care to do care.
Yeah, I remember that now.
So the easiest way to input it from the admin perspective is to use this quick search bar. If I on this quick search bar look for Kelly, for example, I click on Kelly, and now the system gives me these options. First of all is to view the profile. Second, to go to the care worker schedule. Third is what we're looking into: add holiday, sick, or training, or add admin comment. If I click on the suitcase, now he's taking me for the option to insert annual leave. And I can say I would like annual leave in January from the 1st till the 4th. Again, I can see that information over there about the annual leave. I can put a comment in here. I can select full day, half day, morning, half day, evening, or I can select times from what time to what time I want to input that annual leave. If I want to say full day, again, I can select paid or not paid. I can look at what events will be affected depending on what Kelly has on her schedule. If we're going to put this, let's say on tomorrow, for example, I can show you how it looks when Kelly has something booked and Kelly doesn't have anything booked for tomorrow. So let's look on another care worker. Let's look on Louis. He should have some visits booked for tomorrow. Paid, check event schedule. There you go. When it is a visit over there, the system will show it to you. It will give you the option to auto assign, and it will tell you who is available to auto assign, or if it's not, confirm and unassign. There you go. That's how the care worker looks now over there. It looks like it's annual leave over there, and the event that was on the schedule was automatically unassigned from over there. So that's how you can manually input annual leave. That is the easiest way to come into the main dashboard and do it. Just look for the care worker from over here, or to do it the hard way, I can click on the care worker. I see all my care workers over here. I can go to the care worker schedule, and into the care worker schedule, I can click outside, like I can click over here, and I have the other options over here. I click on other options, and then I have the same view that we saw over there once I clicked on the suitcase. Obviously, you can insert from over here holiday, sickness, training, or other. The other are those other options, the things that you've inserted into company setting of leave options. So anything other than sickness and holiday that you would like to monitor. You have some examples over here: dentist appointment. Care worker calls into the morning and says, I have a dentist appointment, I'm not going to be today at work, or stuff like that. If you want to keep track of it, you can do so, and just put them onto your schedule. Again, they will be marked as unavailable to work in that day. You can either put them sick. I can say, obviously by default, it will be never paid, showing me what's happening over here. What is it that is going to be taken out? What visits? I can confirm and unassign, and straight away we can see the care worker has been put into leave, into sick leave for today over there. Now we've seen how we can insert the annual leave, sickness, training over there. Let's put an example on training, how that will look. So I can put training, check events, confirm. There you go. That's how training looks. And if I use, again, if I use the other function and I put MOT appointment, for example, let's see, check. There you go. See, each one of them has a different color over there in the moment when you insert it.
I think a good tab, if we haven't already added it, would be shift handback. So we could record how many shift handbacks that they've had.
Yeah,
it's not sickness or anything. Yeah, I think that'd be a good one for us to then track and record.
This is your system. You can look in company settings and then look into leave settings. Where is it? Leave settings. And here in leave settings, this is what you guys have added, but you can add more and you can put them into the Bradford factor as well. If the question was if you can report on it, yes, you can do that.
Thank you.
We'll do that now, Priya.
Right.
That's what we call it, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be grand.
Next thing that we're going to look is how to extend or edit a leave that has been added into the system. So I know that I've added for Lewis Hamilton. Where's the care worker over there? Lewis Hamilton, there we go. If I look into his schedule, I've put this annual leave for the 7th over there. So I'm going to have a look on how I can extend it and then how I can delete it if I want to delete it at any point. So to extend it, for example, first of all, I can come into my main dashboard, click on carers, and then once I clicked on care workers, I have this holiday and leave on the left-hand side. From over there, what I would need to do is look into holiday and leave list. And in here is the place where you were asking Priya, can I report on it? I can report from over here on holiday, on sickness, on training, or on other. I can leave all of them on, or I can untick each one of them, depending which one I want to have live over there, however I want. I'm going to leave everything, and we're going to look for this 1st of 11 to the 30th of 11, and I'm searching. And now I can see every annual leave that it's over there, or any, so sickness, training, MOT appointment, each one of them. If you would have liked to look at something specific in other, and I know the other is the one that you're going to put down over there. Now he's showing me the other, I have just MOT and doctor appointment. So I can look into those over there. Focusing on our holiday and extending that holiday, we've looked at the Lewis Hamilton annual leave for the 7th, and there you go. In here, I can see it. If I would like to extend it, I have this edit button over here that if you guys are not going to see it straight away, you can open it from column visibility at any point. You can enable it and disable it like every other column, okay? So I can click on the edit and I can say that the end date is not going to be the 7th. I can put a new end date and I can say it's going to be the 10th. I can look at the hours affected and I can edit this, and I can look at the days affected and I can edit this as well. I can say 7, 8, 9, 10, and I can say it's going to be 4 days affected in here. And I can check the events, and there you go. He's now showing me what other visits he's going to remove from over there. And I can confirm the holiday. Once I've confirmed the holiday, he's showing me that he's extended now the annual leave. He's giving me that pop-up notification that some visits have been unassigned, and I would need to assign those, and he's taking me straight away to the schedule to see it. Some other things that I can do via this report will be that you see over here, we mark some of them as payable, some of the annual leave. So if I click on this yes, I can then mark it as not payable, or if it would have been payable, I can mark and I can say not payable. We've looked at the edit button, but I can also look at the work days paid over here. I can click on this and I can change how many days I'm paying from over here as well. A few functions that I can edit from this report regarding annual leave from over here, or sickness or training or other. Or you can run the report. On the right hand side, you see that we have holiday review list new filters. So we've just added a new filter over here where you can run it by care worker. So if I wanted to run just for Louis, I can just look only on Louis for this period of time and run it just for him. That's the addition that you guys are going to see over there. Another function over here that will be interesting on the care worker schedule will be, well, I've inserted some annual leave by mistake. How do I delete that annual leave? So if we come back into Louis over here, there you go. I'm on Louis's profile, and I will click. I can come over there. I can click on the annual leave, and if I want to delete it, the system is asking me for a PIN. This is the second pin that we're going to learn today, and that pin is 1916. See over there that in the moment when I've added it, the delete button has been enabled, and now I can click on delete, and that's it. My annual leave has been removed from over there. That is about adding annual leave, extending it. Now we can look at some reports for annual leave. Again, we're in the main dashboard. I click on care workers, and on the left-hand side, we have holiday and leave. We've looked at the holiday and leave list, and we've looked at the holiday request via the mobile app. But we have a holiday calendar as well, where I can see what's happening into my company. How many people have days off, how many people are into training, how many people are on sick over there, any other options over there. I can see this for the month. I can look at it for the year perspective. I can look for the week perspective or for the day perspective, depending on how I want to look over there. In here, I can search as well by care worker. I can look at the heat map as well. The heat map is a good functionality to be able to see in the moment when I have holiday requests to decide if I'm able to give more holiday during a certain period of time. Once I click on the heat map, the system is going to show me who do I have on annual leave, or I can look on all, and he's going to show me any training people, any sickness, everything that I was able to mark over there. So annual leave, sickness, training, or other. If I would have had, for example, 5-6 people on the same day on annual leave, this will not be green. It will have not been green anymore over here. It will change on the rack rate, green, amber, or red. I have the opportunity to go and look on different months as well, depending on what day, what period of the year I'm looking for. After the calendar, I have a holiday overview where I can generate a report for the whole full holiday year. And the system is going to give me a lot of information about holiday. And I have some options over here to view what each color code means. I have a leave overview report over here. Again, this will work for the holiday year of 2024, and it will give you a lot of information from average daily hours to average weekly, average days, hours available, how much accrued, and a lot more information. Then we have the holiday and leave list that we've seen, holiday request. Then we have some holiday reports. We can see events removed report. So in the moment when I've allocated some annual leave into the schedule for a period of time, some events have been removed over there. And he's going to show me what I've allocated, what events have been removed over there, meaning they've been unassigned over there for that period of time. It is a good report for me to know what is it that I need to assign now that I've added annual leave on a certain care worker. Also, I can run a Bradford factor and SSP expenses. This is for Ireland, where they use that to pay sickness. Any questions about this? Adding leave, managing, extending.
That pin, Alan, was that 1916?
1916, yeah.
And that was for?
Deleting annual leave from the care worker schedule.
Deleting annual leave. Brilliant, thank you.
Okay. Now, status change and retention fee. Status change on care workers, as we know, I can click on carer. I can go into the care worker profile, and from the care worker profile, I can click on the status. I have active, pending, and archived. I can just put them into end of service, and that's it. He's going to be moved over there. Or I can put them into pending, and I can say he is in pending now. I can say date when this is going to be changed and the time. Check events affected. If it was going to be any visits, he would have shown them in red what is removed, and he would have shown me what it's staying. I can confirm. I can put even a note over here, and then I can save. And the coworker will be moved into pending, showing me the future status set. I will always have as well over here a history of my statuses, and I can run reports for statuses as well. One of the things that it's important when you guys are creating new statuses in company settings, and is good to mention now, in the status settings over here, you have the option to put a return review date in here. So if I were to bring now someone, I'm enabling that. So I'm going to try and bring now someone into new staff member. Like we're going to try and put this testing from active into one of my pendings in new staff member. You see that now it is giving me the option to set a review date over there. So if you enable that on the status, you can put a review date over there as well. So I can say check events affected, what is it that is going to be removed, and I can say when do I need to remove review this over here as well. And the system would have given me over here a future status to be reviewed notification. And if I hover the mouse, it's telling me that between the next 2 days, if I have any status that needs to be reviewed between the next 2 days, the system would have given me a warning over here, and it would have showed me that. Okay.
It doesn't seem to allow you that option for any light blue statuses.
No, so those are by default over there. It's on the statuses that you have created over there.
Okay, so okay. No problem. Thank you.
No worries. Now on the client side, if we click on clients, in here is where the retention fee comes into place, but it also comes a lot more functionality into place. So if we would have been to choose client Jessica over there, and I know Jessica has visits, has medication, has digital task on her. If I click on the active over here, I can say change status now, future status change with no return, future status change with known return date, and future status change with known review date. I can either choose one of them, or I can click on change status now and then choose one of them from over here. You see the one that I am on, it has this BIF, this tick over here. If I move to return date, the tick will be now over here. And I have some options when I select the status. When I put change active, I have some options. When I have no return date, again, I have some options. When I put a return date, I have some options. When I put a review date, I have some options over there. We say with review date, and I would say you use this when someone goes into hospital or return, depending if I know. If I don't know when they're coming back, I will say use a review date. And then by default, the system will go and we will put the review date into a week, but you can change it. You can say, I would like to review it on the 11th. You can change the time as well, and then I can look at the events affected. Into clients is a bigger, because he's going to show you now what visits will be removed. So everything that it's in red, it means that it's going to be removed. If it's going to be in this color, it means it's staying over there. And I can decide what events I want to stay as well. So I can go and I can click on them, and I can put a retention fee in place. So I can say retention charge, click on this, or I can just go and I can highlight each one of them and I can put a retention charge for each one of them. What could it be a retention charge? You know, when you're canceling events, it could be that I'm canceling with payment. So although I'm canceling an event, if I haven't had enough notice in advance that that visit needs to be canceled, maybe I still need to charge it because I've put everything still in place and I need to charge it. Some companies, for example, if they have a cancellation and it hasn't been between 24 hours of that cancellation, it's been with less than 24 hours, then they will still charge it. Okay. So that is when this retention charge still comes into place. In live-in, it could happen that into your contracts, you will have that even if the client goes into hospital for a week, I will still charge 50% of the bill, or I will charge 25% of the bill, depending on how you have your contract. In that perspective, I can say, yeah, charge duration is going to be for the full week, and you see everything has turned into pink now over here. And I can say the cancellation reason is in hospital, and I can say I'm billing 50%, for example, and I'm paying 0%, for example. Straight away, for all these visits, that is what's going to happen over there. It is telling me a warning over there, the retention period, Jessica Alba, will be changed into hospital for that period of time. Next, what he's showing me what medications will be cancelled because the client is going into hospital. And total events affected is going to be 33. Okay, so he's showing me that, and next he's showing me any digital tasks that I've put over there, and he's showing me the total events for digital tasks that have been affected will be 71. And it's telling me, please select the task event that need to be cancelled on both the first and last day of the status change. So I can click on each one of those that I need to be cancelled on the first and on the last day. By default, you will see what he will cancel, but I need to select what I want on the first and on the last day as well, what medication I would like to cancel. Next, what I can do over there, I can come and I can put a note, and I can say client in hospital. I can put due to problem, I don't know. Once I'm happy with what I've done over here, I will hit save. And now the system does all that modification, puts the client into hospital status. And if I go into the client schedule, there you go. All those visits have been cancelled over there. And a retention charge has been put in place. Now, what if I have the client coming back out of hospital on the 8th? And I've cancelled all these visits, and I've cancelled all this medication, and I've cancelled all these digital tasks. What will happen in that circumstance? Well, in that circumstance, I can come back onto the client status. And once I'm on this page, that I can get to either from the client and click on future status review, or I can click on clients, reports, and future status change. And in here, I'm going to see that I have a client with a future status change. And I can in here edit the return date. I can move it forward, or I can bring it to be earlier. I can click on this button now over here, and I can say the earlier review date, it's on the 8th. I can look at the events affected and see what he does. I need to change review to return, so I need to click this button. And he's bringing me now all those visits back, all the medication and all the digital tasks. So everything that's been cancelled is now going to be brought back. I can confirm now to proceed to the final step, and I can say save. He is giving me a warning that if I put some visits back into that schedule, or I've done something, it might be some duplication or some conflicts over there. Okay, so now he is showing me what's happening over there. And if I go back into the client, obviously she's in pending. I'm looking for her in the wrong place. If I look on her schedule, there you go. Those visits have been brought back now. And I can see that only the ones until the 8th are over there. Every medication would have been brought back. Every digital task would have been brought back. It is a functionality that allows you not to trouble yourself that much. with creating schedules again, putting medication back again, putting digital tasks back again for that period that you have unassigned or you have changed the status of it there. Are there any questions about the status change and retention fee?
No.
Okie doke. Now what we're going to look is cancelling of events. So via your company settings, you know that you had the option to create your cancellation reasons. And between your cancellation reasons, when I create a new reason, I can put the name, I can say to what branch it will belong to, and I can say if I want to bill or if I want to pay when I'm applying this cancellation reason. That's how you would have created them. You have the option to edit them and you have the option to delete them from over here. To apply a cancellation, I can go to a client, I can go to the client schedule, and I can just look at a visit and then say cancel, not to this particular visit because they are shifts. And we look, there we go. Yeah, we have another client, new lead over here. And on this client, if I want to say to this visit, let's look for tomorrow, then I can see over here that I can cancel event. Again, those options with the medication, in the moment when I'm doing the cancellation from the client schedule, the system is going to give me the information if I have any medication, if I have any digital tasks. Do I want to cancel them? Do I don't want to cancel them along with a visit? So first of all, I'll need to select the cancellation reason. I can put a comment that is required. Then he's telling me this event will be cancelled with pay and billing timesheet. That is what is behind that reason. Is giving me a note. Please check the medication and digital task tracker to assure any meds or tasks which may already be running due to this event period are cancelled or updated accordingly. Next is telling me task event affected by event cancellation. Please select the task event that you will need to be cancelled. So I can say, yeah, cancelled or cancel all of them. And then I confirm. I have an advanced option over here as well. And he's giving me current event. This event reoccurs every week from 10 till 12. And I can say, do the cancellation on every day like this, or to include what dates I want over here. It's a more advanced option for the cancellation over there, where you can go even more into deep on what you're trying to cancel, and it's showing you the link of that visit as well. If I want to leave it only with what I'm over here, I can confirm it, and there you go, I've cancelled an event.
And then one of the important reporting functions we're going to need is to be able to identify reasons for obviously cancelled shifts. And I know the system's got the function to do that. It's pretty straightforward. But when it comes to hospital admissions, is there a way for us to identify via a report how many hours of care we've missed due to clients being in hospital and which clients those were?
So we have the client event cancellation, and I can search over here. And see over here, when I'm searching for the event, he's showing me the duration as well. So for every visit that has been canceled, I can see the duration of those visits. So if I want to look only for a reason, and let's say this reason would have been what you have, hospital admission, you would have been able to look only on hospital admission, and you can see the duration, and you would have been able to see over here a total of hours that you've missed on that.
So that's in service users.
So you can go to that report via the visit that you've canceled. So I can look on the client and I can look on the canceled visit. I've done it into new lead. Then so clients, where is new lead? So this is the client. So I can go into his schedule, and straight away where I have a canceled visit, I can click on that visit, and I can look at history and click here to view canceled events, and I go straight away to the report. Or I can be on the main dashboard. I can look in reports. I have client reports, or should it be other reports? Yeah, on other reports, I have canceled reports. And there you go, I'm on the same page.
Other reports, canceled report.
Canceled event report.
Okay, and that would have brought up the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. It's either you go to from the client schedule over there, or you come from.
We then don't need to have a separate cancelled reason called hospital admission.
Yeah, you could put a hospital admission. If you have the reason over there already, then you can search by reason over here. So I have in hospital over here. If you want to have a hospital admission reason, then you can search by that.
Okay, so that report then is by the cancellation reason, not by the status.
No, it's by the cancellation reason.
Not
yeah.
By the status change. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have to have a hospital admission cancellation report in order to pull that data.
Yeah. Okay. My next option over here will be the time confirmation that we've maybe looked before into it. Remember what I've done a bit earlier? I've went into my mobile app and I've clocked into the event. So the time confirm can be done in two ways. You either have care workers clocking in and out from visits, and in the moment when they clock in, the visits go live. In the moment when they clock out, the visit will come into your system. See, I have some digital tasks over here. I say complete, done, confirm clock out. So in the moment when they clock out via the app, the visits go green into their app. But into your system, you will have a notification over here that it's called hours to be confirmed. So you can confirm the timesheet from over here. Obviously, in here, you will have the parameters where it's telling you timesheet between -5 to 15 minutes under or over. If that timesheet would have come into that parameter, it would have become in green color over here and it would have been pre-ticked. If the timesheet is 15 minutes or over, then it will have you will have again ticked it and it will come in yellow. Then you have into this pale pink that won't come ticked and it will be -5 minutes or under. And there you go. This is one example. And if the duration is over 24 hours, they will come in red. Again, they will not be ticked. You will have information over here. You will see any notes. You will see the care worker, the client, the area. You will see when they were due in, when they were due out as well. You will see the actual clock in and the actual clock out over there. Schedule time, duration worked, any breaks, payable time, schedule versus work difference in minutes, difference over there. Between minutes, again in minutes between work and scheduled. Any billable time, again you will see it over here. And next is the check option. The check option means that if they come pre-checked, you can immediately confirm it, and that's it. Now a timesheet was created for that event. I can still go back and see it into my history if at any point I want to see the history of what it was confirmed, and I can run it for a certain period of time from over there. On this one's, until I check it, you see the confirm time check button is not enabled. So I can come and check, and now the confirm time button is enabled. Let's say that I take this two, I'm happy with them and I confirm them. Now those two have been sent for payment and for invoicing. I have some other options.
Yes, this is what I used to do on Mondays. And then I would add on to the spreadsheet for payroll. Yeah.
Okay.
I have another option over here, which is the edit button. And from over here, I can modify the payable time and the billable time or the break if that is what I want. Optional over here, the options when you have finance permissions is the option over here to insert pay rate, billing rate, travel allowance, exactly the way that you could have inserted into the actual visit. Once you do any modification over here, you must insert a comment. So let's say that I put over here the payable time is 3 hours and 50. I must put a comment. And once I edit and confirm, the visit will disappear from over here. Obviously, you will still be over here. I will still be able to see it. Once I'm happy with everything, I confirm times checked. That is one option. This is based on care workers clocking in and clocking out. What if the care workers don't clock in, don't clock out, they don't use the app, the visits go missed into the system. You will see them into your view clock in status, like I have over here 21, they have been missed. Obviously only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them had a care worker assigned to them. In that case, for this visits, what I will need to do is to manually create those timesheets. If I still know that they happened, that I still need to bill, I still need to pay for it. And to manually create that timesheet, what I need to do is to be on my main dashboard, go on the left-hand side into time confirm. First of all, I have the confirm time option that will take me straight away to hours to be confirmed. And the other thing that I have over here, I have the timesheet generate option. That timesheet generate option is a report that I normally recommend to everybody to run it either on a weekly basis or before you run payroll. Definitely run it to make sure that you don't have any timesheets over there that haven't been created, that should have been created. So I can put this for a period of time. I can look only for, let's say, yesterday, the 5th, and then I search. In here, I have absolutely everything with no timesheet. Let's look even for today. Maybe I have one timesheet in green, so I can show you how one looks when it has been created. Let's do from the 28th. There we go. So I've looked for a longer period of time. I have 3 different colors over here that I wanted to highlight to you guys. First of all, I have blue, and this blue means that those are visits that will happen into the future, so haven't happened yet. Yellow means that are visits that should have a timesheet. They happened already, but they don't have a timesheet created. So from here, the system is going to give me the opportunity to create those timesheets. So I can create them one by one. See over there? Now, if I refresh the page, all those visits will have timesheet, and it's telling me that it's been created by an admin. The other option, sorry?
Amanda's not a very good carer because she's not logging in and out.
No, she's not. And then the other option is in here is the green, where I have a timesheet in there. So I can filter it by over here and I can see everything. Now, it might happen that when at the end of the month, when you're running it, you'll have like 100, 200, like I have over here already. I can see 100 and something timesheets that I need. And I don't want to go and create manually one by one, each one of them, because it's quite a lot. In that event, we have this button over here that says create timesheet. And if I hit that, he's going to create all the timesheets, so all the yellow for this period of time. I can hit create, and now the system is going to automatically create a timesheet for all those events. After I refresh now, it's telling me that it has a timesheet, each one of those. That is the time confirm functionality. Via the time confirm, you do have a few other options over here, like the assign on schedule time. Obviously, that is the option where you can leave your care workers to create their own visits. You have the timesheet review, where I can search care worker and I can search client, and I can look for this one. Then is showing me what timesheets have already been created. When it's a little monitor over here, that means it's been logged in by an admin. If it would have been a little man like it's over here, that means it's been logged in by the care worker over there. Okay, the care worker review over here as well. I can run a report about care workers for a period of time over there, and I can look over here at a timesheet review. Again, he's going to show me what extra timesheets I have and what timesheets have been unconfirmed. One thing that I will touch over here is what is an extra timesheet. The extra timesheet, and that is the one that is extra over there, is something that shouldn't be over there. It's for the same period of time to a normal timesheet, but it could happen sometimes because a care worker clocks in and an admin does the same thing over there, clocks them in at the same time, and the system hasn't synchronized again. But what the system will do, he will highlight that to you. You can come and you can highlight it, and then you can delete it. The extra timesheets all the time, what it will need to happen, they will need to be removed from over there. You don't need to do it. It doesn't happen often, but whenever it's an error of communication with the reception, with something, maybe the care worker is in an area where he's clocked in and the admin didn't know that he's in an area where he won't have too much reception and his phone is not communicating with the system immediately. That might happen. So when that happens, the system will highlight it to you. And it will highlight it to you guys in the moment when the payroll is run as well. You will see if an extra timesheet is over there. That's why that functionality is over there. We have a location function where we can run a report and see where our care workers clock in, clock out. And review SMS assign, we'll see what that is. It's about the Instacare, where you can run a report about what SMSs you've sent. We'll discuss more into the clinical session over there. That's the time confirm. Next would have been pins and permissions. On the pins and permissions, we've seen the first pin is 7272 for any visits past before today, so into the past. 1916 is the delete holiday. And we have one other pin over there that is normally just for finance, and that is 7032. That is to delete timesheets from the finance perspective. And we'll learn into the finance session on how that will work. We have a location pin drop feature as well, and that is on the main dashboard. We have something that is called location over here on the left-hand side down. If I click on location, then I have confirmed location. And this is what we call drop a pin. So if I come over here and I say I would like to look into DT51BB and I search, the system takes me to that place. If I want to look into actual UK, just need to take that gap out. A bit tricky. I have 511, that's what the problem is over there. There you go. And I drop a pin into an area. Now, the functionality, what it serves for, you see that I have over here selected care worker active, client active, care pending, client pending. I might not want this, so I can deselect them and I can look only on what I have active. Let's say that I have a new client coming in. And when I have a new client coming in, I want to drop a pin into an area. And I want to look on what actual care workers and what actual clients I currently have into that area. And that might help me make a decision if I want to take that client because I have staff members in that area to service it, or I don't. The same for when I'm bringing a new care worker into my system, I can have a look over here. I can monitor with the distance, I can make it bigger, and I can look for on an area of 24 kilometers from that pin where I've dropped the pin, what is it that I have? I can click and I can see I have Julian Test, and there's a client that is active over there. I have John Test over there. I have care worker active, that is Jerry, and I have Alan Test over there. I can go even more into that, and I can play with the map and see where actually do I have those people. I can even go with a little man, take it from over here, put it to show me what's the crack over there, what's happening. There you go, we're now in Weymouth. Specsavers. Just a bit of functionality over there on how you can work with it. Not sure if you guys will want to use it or not, but it is a helpful functionality for a lot of companies that want to work with it. But especially when you try to create a rotas runs, this will help a lot. In here, the other option that you can see if you have any clients or any care workers that you haven't confirmed their location yet. And the system will give you a direct link if I click on that, and it will show me that the location is not confirmed on this care worker. I can then click on their location and just pinpoint it, save it over there. Any questions about this?
No.
No. Now, to introduce the CareWorker app activation and how to install it on an Android phone and on an iPhone, I'm going to give you a little bit of information. Remember, the moment when we went on CareWorkers and we said that we add CareWorkers, we had this option over here to tick this box or untick it. Once we put an email address over there, when we save, when we create the CareWorker, the activation email will go to the CareWorker or not, depending on what we do with this tick box. Now, if we wouldn't have ticked that box, the way to send it after we created the CareWorker will be to click on Carers, go into Settings, and go into CareWorker Login. And from over here, in this page, you have some options to edit the username of a CareWorker, edit the password, put an expiry date. And this is sending the activation emails. So when someone is in green, that means that they haven't had their account activated. And you can just click on each one of them and the system will send the activation email from over there. When they've activated the mobile app, you will see this orange option over here. And this will also serve in the moment when, if at any point they forget their password, you can send them a reset password email. And via that, they can reset their password. That is the first functionality over here on how to do it. The next will be the app permission. That it's again via main dashboard. Click on CareWorkers, then we click on settings, and then we click on, first of all, we've looked on CareWorker login. Now I click on app permissions. And in here will be the place where I'm creating what permissions I want to give to CareWorkers. So from over here, I can see that I have, let's look on yours so you don't get too confused. Click on CareWorkers, settings, app permissions. So what you will see over here is that you don't have any permission yet. You will see the basic default, and then you will see permission settings. Now in here, you can create new permissions. And once you create a new permission, you can give it a name however you want. Now let's move back on mine. You can give permission setting, create new permission. I can give it a name, however I want to name it. You'll see that I've created 3 different ones. And once you create that, you can come on each one of these permissions. And I can click on body assessment. Then I can click on client information and I can decide what I want to give to what permissions. You can have more than one permission. You can have multiple permissions over there. Maybe you want some CareWorkers to have one level, and some other CareWorkers to have a different level. And you can go to each one of them and decide what you would like to give CareWorkers access. We will go to each one of this into our CareWorker training, and I'm going to explain what each permission does over there. But if prior to that you guys want to have a play with it, activate one of your dummy app, you can create maybe Tim, Priya, you can create yourselves as a CareWorker over there into the system as a CareWorker, and start playing with the app if you want to do that. So you can create then a permission and then see what each one of them does. We normally recommend that you guys play with it. Then when we do the training, you might have questions on that. I will send you some guidance, Tim. It will be with the video email from today. I'll send you a bit of guidance on how to install the app on Android and how to install the app on iPhone. In the moment when you use when you install the first time the app, it needs a code over there, so that will be into that guidance. Cool. That concludes our session for today. Are there any questions from what we've done today?
No, not from me. No more. I think you've answered everything we had along the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Although you guys are experienced with scheduling, I will still say go and play a little bit with the schedule over there, with everything that we've learned today, with the statuses, with the cancellation reasons, maybe with the retention fee, the pin drop feature, a little bit of adding leave, looking onto those unassigned hours reports, the clock-in status, the wall chart. Go and play with that a little bit, and if you have any questions, we can then discuss them into the catch-ups.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds
Thanks,
good.
Alan.
Brilliant. I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you on our next session.
You too.
Goodbye.
Thanks,
You
man.
too.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.